The answer to this question should be self-explanatory. But what makes you a bad father? You know, sometimes it's good for people to see this type of topic so they can have discussions with their own peers and so on and so forth. But what makes you a bad father? Straight away, I can think of a few things. But then you have to think of reality sometimes. But does seeing your child every weekend make you a bad father? What we doing there? Because you and I both know, as grown folks, you know, a lot of us are not with the mother of our child, but we wish her the best. A lot of us are still with the mother of our child. But for those that maybe are not, and maybe have a different pattern to most or others, what makes you a bad father? Now, it's out of your hands if, you know, the mother of your child, you know, is playing that game that's horrible. When you always hear about it, you know, this man can't see his child, that man can't see his child due to the woman being, you know, a certain way. Sometimes them women have rights and reasons to do what they do. But I always think it comes down to making the child happy is what's best for everybody. And if you're not with the mother of your child, the least you can do is trying to be cordial. Because if she's happy, your kid's happy. But the reason I asked that question is because if you take myself, for example, I was a full-time father. I was around my child all the time. When I was outside, when I was, you know, doing things I shouldn't have been doing. The moment I was free and I changed my mindset and the opportunity came my way to do something legit and I took the opportunity, it meant I would see my daughter less. So only on weekends, for example. And it had me thinking like, I don't feel good, like I'm not happy about this situation. But the reality is, I'm kind of doing it for her. So make of that what you will. But does that make me a bad father though? Now, you know, I know a lot of brothers that are doing nothing for their child. And they seem cool with it. I don't know how they are behind closed doors. It might be a different story. Some people put on a brave face for their friends. But the reality is, bro, that's your sibling. That's your seed. I can't imagine you being happy with not seeing that person. Do you know what I'm saying? It eats me up. Just seeing my daughter maybe every weekend. They might be doing something on the weekend. It might have to be the weekend after. Because I work far away from her. So that's not possible. So I asked that question just to see how you lot think about that. So let me know in the comments. The next topic I got for you lot is like having an online presence. Do you believe that accolades are required for anybody to talk? Or is it cool? Because I get that there's, you know, there's funny people out there, some comedians out there, make you laugh. Ain't ever heard of the person before, but they're funny, entertaining. And I'm all for that personally. Because we've all got a voice, you know, and if you can use it to better yourself, go for it. But there's a lot of people online talking with, you know, no accolades. They're not funny. And it makes me ask the question to like, why is it cool for you to do that? We don't know you for nothing. But you're just online chatting. Make it make sense. What we doing here? I see someone try and slander my brother Swiss for standing up for what he believes in and what he fights for every day. Bro opened up, a black pound shop in Westfields, bro. Amazing. Bro's arguably got one of the best songs to ever come out of the UK from our culture, from our scene. Cry. But yeah, I see my brother get questioned on him doing things for clout, which made me think, how come everything we do or every action we make has to be associated with clout? Not everything people do online is associated with clout. But within this instance, the person talking on Swiss has to be for clout, because you wouldn't have said his name otherwise. You could have just kept it to whatever you was keeping it to. And that's the problem. It's like everybody wants to talk about this person does this for clout, that person does this for clout, but you're doing it for clout yourself. So what happened to accountability? What we doing there? To downplay bro and say that he was doing whatever he was doing, championing black women because he was trying to gain some clout, that's insane to me. So I say that has to be for clout, because Swiss is Swiss. The person talking on Swiss, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your accolades are. If a man is driving around out here in a manual in 2025, I need to know why that is. Just saying. Swiss is the last person anybody should be trying to downplay when it comes to black culture, because the accolades are there for you to see, for all to see. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that one didn't sit well with me when I heard them comments and them remarks on Swiss. Big up Swiss every time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? An honourable person in his community and outside of his community. So the clout word. People are entitled to their opinion. That's cool. But for those of you that always say, oh, it's clout, it's clout, it's clout, maybe try and find the understanding in the story before you start talking about this is for clout and that's for clout. The example I just gave you, I can only look on it and see it as clout. Because like I said, I don't know the person in question that is throwing shade on Swiss, but I know Swiss. Do you get it? There's people out there, no name, they're just having their opinion on something and they'll be told it's for clout. That's not always the case. We need to know how to separate the two. You're entitled to your opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to act like they're smart until you ask them to see their grades from school. Huh? Like what we doing here? Honestly. Make it make sense, man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The landing.
Fanatics.
Throw me out, that could pay in the pig. I'll be on your roof, call me Saint Nick. Caesar with me too, going ape shit. Gorillas in the zoo, we had to break shit.